We had been busy at it in 2021 here, putting together a kind of a website concept called Analog Cooking, which would utilize some hardware that we developed and largely some AI using different metrics to help navigate cooking recipes in the kitchen. We were all a go for launch with this. The CXO team here in Analog Cooking loved the development and technology plan that I had put together. My boss loved it. The problem was that the initial funding just could not be found. And really, the investor said that this market is way too saturated and we need to find something else if we want to continue with our key infrastructure that we have already developed for this. So I want to propose a new plan. The plan that I'm proposing is this AI generated college bookstore website generator. You could really just simply envision it as a function that would take a listing of university names from public source like NCS educational data and automatically generate university bookstore merchandising websites as a result. It's going to create all this, the magic of it is behind some API calls. So the University Harvard, we could use Wikipedia API calls to determine Harvard's colors. We could use Amazon affiliate API calls to find Harvard hats, Harvard, jogging pants and things like that. And so the idea is based on just some key terms we could get from some public educational data, have these websites use AI and API calls to generate this content. The idea here is to reuse a lot of our existing innovation ideas that we had together for Analog Cooking. Our marketing, sales, and service concept is going to be built using the AI that I want to take from API data for SEO, so perhaps we weren't doing search engine optimization before, but really those keywords are going to come from the API calls and AI that can ingest that API data. And I want to keep marketing costs totally simple. It's really the only way I want to look at this is just through SEO marketing right now. So if somebody searched for like Harvard hat, we're just trying to grab a little bit of that market. As far as revenue streams, just these affiliate links that I talked about. If you do search for Harvard hat, this is going to take you right over to Amazon, and hopefully through our Harvard website or whatever, you are going to purchase that hat through one of our affiliate links, and then we will get the commission. Another smaller part of the revenue stream is some of the smaller universities where we may not have much of an affiliate stream coming in. That may be a valuable asset to sell to a smaller like Christian university or something that maybe just has 100 students or something and say, hey, this isn't generating too much revenue for us, but this might be useful for you as your own site to manage. Reuse of resources in the tech approach for those key innovation areas I already talked about, the AI and API resources we have, those innovation areas, I want to continue to utilize those. And those technology components, the framework that we have of the servers and databases in the cloud, all that can essentially stay. We don't need to recreate any of the AWS framework that we had developed for Analog Cooking. The DevOps, largely this is going to stay the agile approach with just a couple of exceptions. We're going to be web-centered for our agile approach, so there's really no core software. This is all going to be PHP based, and the part of our DevOps component that was for hardware development, we're going to toss the hardware out right now. So we don't really have to worry about any type of approach for hardware. We're going to reuse some of the sales service and marketing. Again, those AWS servers that we had already spun up for community message boards and FAQs, we're just going to continue to use those. Nothing beyond that is really required because everything else is handled through third-party affiliate marketing. And finally, the competencies and sourcing reuse. We can reuse most of these competencies, such as the backend development, UI development, AI development, SaaS cloud development. All that totally makes sense in the same AI website generation structure. We can get rid of the hardware competency requirement again, and I would just like to ramp up a little bit of the API development and API usage competency, but really largely we're going to continue to use the same structure that we had.